Hello, my name is Steve Bowler, and in this video I'm going to configure static routing and default routing. And as you can see, I already have my network topology built in GNS3. Well, I don't have it completely built, I still have to do the IP addressing. As you can see, I have loopback interfaces that I will create on the customer routers, and these loopback interfaces will basically are used to simulate customer networks off of those routers. Basically, I can simulate traffic and check that via GNS3. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to go into the routers and start configuring them. I've already configured the names and everything, so I'm going to go into customer 2 router first, just show you what we're looking at here. Customer 2 router, looks like we have serial 00 that's connected to the ISP2 right here. So I'm going to go ahead and configure that serial interface with the IP address shown in the diagram. I'm going to give it the 2.2 and give it the /30 mask. Also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in straight to the loopback 20, and the reason I call it loopback 20 for this interface, why I use interface loopback 20 is because I have a 20 network here that I'm working with, so to make it a little easier to follow. I'm going to go ahead and put the IP address shown, 192.168.20.1, make that a /24. Make sure I can ping that. Okay. Next, I'm going to go ahead and save that. I'm going to go into my ISP router, ISP2. I'm going to configure ISP2 now. As you can see from the topology summary on the right hand side of GNS3, interface serial 01 is connected to customer 2, so I'm going to go ahead and configure the correct IP address for that interface, 2.1. And then I'm going to go ahead and configure the interface that points to my other ISP connection, ISP1. So I'm going to, that is interface serial 00. Okay, it looks like I got the IP addressing down on ISP2. Now I'm going to try to ping customer 2 router, see if I have layer 3 reachability. So I'm pinging the .2 over here, customer 2, and it looks like I'm good. So I'm going to hop onto ISP number 1 and configure this router. As you can see here, serial 00 is my link to ISP2, so I'm going to go ahead on there first. as you can also see up here, it shows serial 01 is my link to customer 1. I'll go ahead and configure that interface next. IP. By the way, I've already no-shut all of the ports, so all the links are up already, in case you were wondering. Again, 192.168.1.2, that's the ISP1's link to customer 1. That's what I'm configuring right now. Now, since I've already configured ISP2, I'm going to try to ping this link between ISP1 and 2, and it should work if I have layer 3 reachability. Okay, looks like we're good. So the last thing we need to do is configure customer 1 router. If I do a show interface description, click up my serial 00 interface is connected, is my link to ISP1. So I'm going to go ahead and configure that interface. Okay, now I already configured ISP number 1. I've configured all the routers now, so I should be able to ping from customer 1 to ISP 1. And we're good. So next thing I do, I'm going to create my, almost forgot to create my loopback 10 interface here on customer 1 router. So I'm going to go ahead and create that interface real fast. Go ahead and ping that interface, make sure I have reachability. Okay, so we look good. Now if I go ahead and look at my routing table on customer 1, all I have is 2 routes. I have a route to my loopback interface that I created, and I got a route to the ISP1. So, let's go ahead and jump onto ISP number 1 and do a show IP route here. Again, this is the routing table, and this shows me how these routes get put into the routing table for the router. You can see C is connected, S static, and so on with all your other routing protocols. We're basically just going to be using static for this presentation.